The way she was sitting up there, her legs crossing, her arms out like she owned Stormi's house. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. Y'all can say what y'all want about Miss Wanda, but I'll take Miss Wanda any day of the week over Miss Bettie, okay? So let's just get into the scene. And I was trying to figure out what was the point of the scene. Okay, Junior got fired, and like, so Junior gonna find another job. Like, it's fine. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Brenda Yvonne channel. Of course, y'all already know I'm Brenda Yvonne. Here on my channel, we do fun reviews, recaps, and discussions of all of our favorite shows, y'all. This video, we are talking Love and Marriage Huntsville. Comes on TVs on Saturday nights. This is season 6, episode 11, titled Bettie Blues. Before we get into anything, y'all, let's just go over the housekeeping over here. Let's please hit that like button, y'all. Help the girl out in the algorithms, okay, of the YouTube streets. Thank y'all for all y'all love and support, though, for real. Share the video, or you like to share the video, share content, I mean. Also comment, let me know what y'all thought about this episode, because I got a lot of mixed feelings, and we're going to get into it. Also, y'all, don't hesitate to click that subscribe channel. There's a lot of great content to view over here, so just please, subscribe so you can keep up with what's all going on at the Brenda Yvonne channel, okay? So, let me give a disclaimer. If I have to stop or cut the video, it's because I got to grab my food, okay? Also, happy Father's Day to all my fathers out there, grandfathers, uncles, godfathers, just a male influence in somebody's life. Happy Father's Day to you. I hope you enjoy your day, okay? Happy Father's Day to both of my brothers, or two of my brothers, I should say. Two of them are fathers. Happy Father's Day to them as well. Happy Father's Day to my grandpa, my uncles, and my dad too. Anywho, y'all, also, happy Juneteenth. Yes, it's Juneteenth, y'all. Well, it's Juneteenth weekend. Are y'all off tomorrow? Okay, because I am off tomorrow. Finally, we get a day off during summer school, because typically we do not. So I'm super happy. I don't have to rush off to bed tonight. I get to come on here and talk to y'all, talk about this Love and Marriage Huntsville mess. So let's pick up where we left off last episode, with the comeback group coming back and arguing like they usually do. Maurice is saying he agrees with Kimmy. This is a comeback group initiative. And basically, they need to call it what it is and let this be a comeback group event and not just a LaTisha Marsau event that they want them to help out at. Okay, so Marsau and Tisha's like, cool, that's fine. Like, we can make it a comeback thing. Marsau thing is that, but Mel doesn't want to do the comeback group. And so Kimmy was like, are you okay? Asked Mel, are you okay with us moving forward with this being a comeback group event? Because you're the one that wanted to dissolve the group. She said, that's fine with her. No problem. Okay. So, they're like, okay, well, let's move forward. Like, let's figure out what we got to do. Mel's thing is like, okay, well, y'all talking all this stuff, but do y'all even have a date for the event? So I believe they said March 8th, right? And so somebody was like, oh, I'm booked, I'm good. So Mel's like, oh, I don't know if I'll even be here. I might be out of town. She has a performance. Later on, she says she's opening for Eric Billinger. I'm like, oh, okay, man, look at you. So anyway, she doesn't even know she could really do it. Okay, so Maurice is like, well, it has to, basically Maurice's thing is it need to be all of us or none of us is how he feel. Okay. If Mel don't want to be there, y'all can move on with the comeback as the 5, my opinion. Anyway, so he's like, okay, well, if Mel can't be there, we got, like, technology. Let's, have her do a video, do it electronically, zoom her in, whatever. Okay. Tisha, is that a good idea to you? No, absolutely not. Tisha is not feeling that, okay? I don't know what the issue would be with Mel doing like a video recording or like a Zoom or something from wherever she is and people can sit in a room or area to watch that. Like, I don't know what the problem with that would be. My only thought I had when I thought about it, is maybe more attention and more crowd if Mel was there in person. I think that's the reason why Tisha was not feeling that idea. That's my thoughts. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. So this is what I do. I watch the episode once, okay? I try to tweet with it about it, and enjoy the entertainment of it. Then the second time I watch it and I pick up on things I might have missed, and then I started processing more like, okay, now what is really happening here? Okay, but anyway, I'm just giving y'all my thought process. So the second time I watched it, that's what I was thinking. It must be because it would be better for Mel to be there to get more attention and more of a crowd. Okay. Mel's thing is like, when LaTisha first came in here, she came in here with all the energy. She was the big, she had the bully dog. She called her, a baby bully dog. And said she came in there like a baby bully dog. And she said, absolutely not. Y'all not getting paid. It ain't happening. Not doing it. She said, but now, when Maurice suggests something over here, because I can't be there, you're saying no. And she's like, I feel like you're not being open-minded, and I feel like now your energy is different, like you don't want to be here. Tisha said, if I don't want to be here, I can get up and leave. Okay, so they're arguing and fussing again. Marsau said, look, okay, can we just, who first of all doesn't want to do the event, period? Okay, who want to do the event? I had to go grab my food real quick, which I need to wrap this video up, but we really just getting started. Anyway, so like I said, Marsau had asked, who want to be in the group, who want to do it, first of all, who want to do it? And he's like, okay, so if there's riders fees and all that, Martell, you want to know what the fee gonna be and all that, what's gonna happen? He's like, yeah, if it's, basically if we can get paid, yeah, I want to know how we're gonna get paid. Duh. So anyway, then he's like, okay, so everybody say they could be there. Mel, can you be there on that day? She's like, I don't know. So he was like, okay, what's going on? She's like, let me tell y'all what's going on. Okay. So, basically Mel's thing is like, before the comeback group has recently been coming back together, there's been a lot of bad blood. There's been a lot of things that has happened. So for her to, re-immerse herself in this and give her energy to this, it's going to take baby steps. It's going to take a lot. Like, she can't just jump fully back in after everything that's happened. My sentiments exactly. That's how I felt when they first was doing the comeback group all over again. I'm like, what? Like, there's no way we can come back from all the drama they went through on the reunion. And now, now we come back as comeback group. Now, I know Carlos King did say, and he said it on his podcast, on his YouTube channel, that when he was critiquing our HOA, because y'all know y'all be mad when he do that. And he was saying with his own show, he had to come down to Huntsville and get the cast together. He said he went down there to see them and talk to them and really get on them. And then they started telling on each other. So I think I think it's the episode with DJ Richie Scott. Shout out to him. I like watching his reviews as well. Basically, Carlos was saying, like, he told them, like, it's time to move on some of these storylines, okay? So that's why we see them coming together acting like ain't nothing happened. I'm personally not buying it. You can't come back from some of the stuff they went through, but they do kind of have a pact between them, like Carlos said. So anyway, Mel's like, we gotta take these baby steps, and this is the baby steps she's giving, okay? So then Marsau was like, well, you make the steps right here, like we in the meeting, like we talking about, like we ain't asking you to come to like a hug party, like speaking to people, like that ain't nothing. And she was like, well, this is the baby step for me. He's like, okay, you already making baby steps and steps. And she was like, okay, that's how you feel. I'm expressing how I feel. She said, I'm being totally transparent with you guys. It's just going to take more time for me. I can't be mad at her for that because she's being honest. Now, Carlos did tell y'all to get on with it, though. So I feel like, and I posed the question on Twitter, is Mel going to be down to the Black Expo, okay? Because Carlos said y'all needs to move forward. And so is she going to be contractually obligated to go to the Black Expo? We're going to see when the event come through. Okay, so anyway, so, her and Marsau got into it a little bit, but she's like, I'm making the steps I can make. I saw some laughing and smiling at the table, so I was like, y'all's doing the most at this scene. So anyway, basically, they're going to try to do the event. Marielle said, she's okay with putting input in the background, but she's not sure if she could be present the day of the event and can fully participate in that way. All right. So, Marcel's thing is like, because Maurice is like, it got to be everybody and nobody, he ain't doing it. And so Marsau said in his professional, he okay with losing Mel if he had to. He feel like Maurice is kind of messing stuff up, but Maurice is being real. You know, this is a comeback group thing. So we're going to see what happened with the Black Expo. Okay, so anyway, moving on, we see a scene with Mel is, you know, after everything she said she been going through, she just need to do something to kind of relax, get her mind off of other things. So she goes to, it's like a gym or fitness center, and do a pole dancing lesson, basically, okay? Y'all, there's a fly in my house and it's driving me crazy, so if you see me swatting it, that's why. Anyway, she invited her, she said her ride or die, Nell Fletcher. She said she invited Miss Nell Fletcher because at the end of the day, that has been her ride or die. I said, since when? Since when? Did I miss something? Since when was Nell her ride or die? But okay, Nell Fletcher is Mel's best friend for this season. Got it. So Nell come through with her black on. I said, where did Miss Nell get all this body? Because we didn't see all that body before. Did she get a surgery? And I mean that no shade possible. Did she get a breast reduction or a tummy tuck or a mommy makeover or something? Because Nell looks totally different to me in her body. Maybe how she used to dress before. I don't know. She just looked different. Was it just me? So anyway, so they go to do this pole dancing class. You know, she said, well, first of all, let's talk about the pole dancing. Okay. That lady was teaching them the most basic move. Now, I ain't no pole dancer, okay, and I ain't never did the classes. I used to want to do that, but now, like, if I do, I do. I don't. I don't know what Mel and Nell was doing. I don't know what Mel or Miss Nell was doing. Miss Nell was trying. She was trying to pop it. I said, why we got Auntie Miss Nell up here on this pole? Now, your own people, Carlos people, y'all not right for making Auntie Nell get on that pole like that. Y'all not right. But Auntie Nell, you look good, girl. Don't let nobody tell you nothing different, girl. You look good on that pole. Okay, go on, Miss Nell. Miss Nell said she might need to have that pole home tonight. Okay, she want to show Chris Fletcher what it do. Okay, make it happen for him. So anyway, she was like, yeah. You doing? Let me go back. So Mel, I was cracking up with this part. Mel, the confessional, y'all, said, yeah, now she got out there. She showed them that she can still lift them legs, honey. She can still do something with them legs. I said, Mel, you ain't right. You ain't right. But I feel like we get a whole new Nell Fletcher this season. Is it just me? Because she out here commentating. She all animated. Before we saw her, you know, being, you know, Mother Church Lady trying to cancel Martell and Mel in the backyard with Chris. This season, Miss Nell is showing out this season, okay? So anyway, she was like, so how was your Valentine? I saw you was booed up. She was like, oh, it was good. How was yours? Nell said mine was good. You know, we had a romantic dinner at the house. She was like, well, how was yours? What did you do? I seen an arm. I seen somebody's arm. She was doing all this. I said, Nell, look at Nell. So anyway, she was like, where did you went out the country? You were doing something. So Mel sent her confessional that, you know, she trusts Miss Nell. So she felt like she could give her one little nugget of information about her boo. Okay, girl. So Mel said, yeah, we were in the back of the car. Getting ready to head to the resort. I think in like did she say Cabo or somewhere like that? Anyway, go on, man, go on your trips, girl. So anywho, she was like, yeah, you know, I never thought, you know, I could have this kind of feeling again. When I manifested it, I would, you know, she said I used to put on my social media, I wanted did she say protector? Or provider, it seemed like there was another P. Sound like she said professor, but I don't know. Anywho, she wanted all that, and she manifested it, and that's what she got in this man. He, you know, he is really there for her. He checks on her, and she hasn't felt protected and safe in a long time, in years. Even towards the end of her marriage, you know, she thought she was protected, but turns out now she was sleeping with the enemy, she said, and she was. And so she's just really happy. You know, the guy, he checks on her all the time, make sure she, you know, she good, ask her if she need anything. So Nell's like, you know, I'm really happy for you. She's like, do you feel like this is your prince? She said she does feel like that. And then she was like, okay, so when do we get to meet him? She's like, am I gonna get to meet him? She's like, he will eventually, but not right now. And then she's like, y'all not gonna see him until I'm married. I announced I'm married. Nell's like, are you serious, girl? She's like, yeah. Okay, at least I know y'all was complaining last episode, man, wasn't giving y'all no tea about this new man, so she gave y'all a little more tea. I ain't pressed. If she give it to us, good. If she don't, fine. I'm not pressed about it. Anyway, Mel said, somehow they got on the topic of business. It was an awkward shift to me. She was talking about the comeback group and how LaTisha and Marsau having this Black Expo event with the Q. And I can't stop saying Expo instead of Expo because of LaTisha. I'm sorry. So she was saying that, she's not there yet to come back to the comeback group with the original 6, especially she don't want to be doing business with Martell. I don't blame her. And the Scotts, there's been bad blood, too much has been said, so she don't know. So then Mel in her confessional, now this is where she lost me. She gonna get in her confessional and say, Beyonce, even had to part ways with Destiny's Child. She's still watching them and support them from afar, but she had to part ways, and I'm doing the same thing as Beyonce. I would support them, I would give them ideas, but I gotta be free and fly off and be solo as well. I said, that is not a good comparison, no. It's not the same. You compare yourself to Beyonce all day, Mel. Go ahead, girl, go off. Anyway, Mel says she'll support the team in the background, but she ain't trying to really be involved with the Black Expo. Anyway, moving on. Let's get to this scene with Tisha and Marsau because I almost forgot about it. So basically, Tisha and Marsau, go to look for places to stay while they renovate the other house because Scott Manor ain't never gonna be built apparently. So I thought they looked for apartments, but that looked like a house. Maybe it's like a townhouse or something. Anyway, they go to 3 bedroom, 2 bath place. It's bigger than what they got right now, so that works out. They go in the kitchen and talk, and Marsau said he want him and MJ to stay at the house while they do the renovations, and Tisha and the girls stay there. Tisha was like, no. And so she's like, y'all not about to be having no bachelor pad, and people gonna be saying, MJ gonna be saying, my sister stay with my mom and I stay with her with my dad, this bachelor pad. He's like, 16-year-old boy and his dad is not a bachelor pad. And so he was like, how do you expect me to get the work done? He's like, I can work on it all the time if I just stay there, is Marsau's reasoning. Now, I get what Marsau was saying because I know how much construction work can take. I really do. Because I saw my dad do it. However, it is not that serious that you need to stay over there and you can't come back home when you're done working. Like, it's not that serious. So Tisha's like, absolutely not. And so he's like, when I remember you went on that Mother's Day trip and I renovated the bedroom, like, how do you think I did that? I was working 2 jobs. I was working at the theater. I was getting Black together. I was doing all this. I would work, go home, come home, and work all night on the room and get it ready for you. How you think I did that? And so she was like, basically rolling her eyes like, no, she don't care. No, she don't have it. And he was like, can you just listen to me? You're rolling your eyes. You're being rude. She's like, I'm not trying to be rude, Marsau. I'm just saying, you saying the same thing over again. I don't need to hear it again. And he was like, but can you listen again for the second time? So he repeated himself. He just blowing hot air, in my opinion, y'all. So anyway, she was like, this conversation, she's like, it's frustrating me. The same way I was frustrated the other day at the comeback group meeting. He was like, see how frustrated you are? You just trying to get your point across and all that. So that's the same situation. Like, now I'm frustrated because you're not getting my point. Not the same, Marsau, but you trying to see Marsau. I can see the little Jedi mind tricks he's trying to do on Tisha right there, but she stood her ground pretty well. So then she was like, no, it's still a no. Like, we're a family. We're going to all be in the house together. She said in her confessional, Marsau got me messed up. He got me all the way messed up, and he think he going to live on the other house, and I'm going to be in this house. No, we are a family, okay? That's right, Tisha. She said, period. I said, okay, Tisha, go off. So then Marsau was like, okay, well, Marsau ain't giving up. So he's like, well, it's going to take some compromise because I'm going to get another team to do it. And, I'm still trying to do your office. And he was like, so, for me to get some outside help, it's going to come out of our allowances. That's what's going to happen. He was like, you're going to have to pay for it if you want the family together. I'm like, that's rude, Marsau. That is so rude and condescending and nasty. And so she was like, no, you going to pay for it. So then he was like, no, we both going to pay for it. She was like, okay, Marsau. And I would have been like, whatever as well, because at the end of the day, his money, your money, girl. So it ain't even that deep. Like, whatever you got to get it done, Marsau, you got to get it done, but you ain't living in a whole nother house, and that's what it is, okay? So anyway, speaking of Marsau, we see Courtney go visit Marsau at the plaza where Black is, basically. And so he was like, oh, is this another Stitch of Black? He's like, no, they're getting an upscale barbershop. And so he mentioned the name of the company, Beam, but they bleeped. Oh, that fly. They bleeped the guy's name out, which was weird to me, because then in the next scene they showed like a never before scene, and they showed the guy's name. So I'm not sure why they bleeped it. That made no sense to me. So anyway, the guy's name, they showed it on the screen. I think it was like Nagy or Maggie Wilson or something like that. And he was telling Marsau and LaTisha in their office that he wants to have an upscale barbershop. Beam stands for, Lord, didn't remember. I think it was Black, Enlightened, and Maturing or something like that. They're moving. So basically like moving, basically any business they have, they want to like move it forward and mature and that kind of thing, grow it and make it better kind of thing. So anyway, whatever the guy was talking about sounded good, right? And so they're going to have that over there. So he said there's only like one more space left in that plaza that they own. And so Tisha's office is going to be somewhere in the back over there. And he said they're in competition with, I guess, to get Slutty Vegan. So, he said everything's coming together, and it's not just about, building a legacy for his family, but it's also for the community. And so Courtney was asking him about, working with family and how that whole thing goes. And so he's telling him about the situation with Junior, how they had to fire Junior, and because Junior was always on his phone and he wasn't doing nothing. Y'all remember the episode. So Marsau was like, well, how'd you feel about it? He's like, well, it's business. He wasn't tripping, but Stormi is pretty, sad about it. He broke up about it. Okay. So he's like, how was it working with Jalen? Like, how was that? Is Jalen still working at Black? Because we don't see him down to Black anymore, but maybe he still is. So if y'all know it, drop it in the comments. And so he's like, Marsau's thing is it depends on the character of the person, right? He's like, it just really depends on the character. He's like, but I fired family before. He's like, I fired my younger brother, older brother. He's like, I even fired Maurice one time. And so Courtney was shocked, as I was. And so he's like, really, Reese? He's like a hard worker, especially, down on the basketball court. And I wouldn't think Maurice he seemed like he would be a hard worker. He has a lot of integrity, or at least he tries to act like he does. And so he was like, yeah, because at the time Maurice was trying to plan his first wedding, and he was stressing and putting all the stress on Marsau, and he's like, that's your stress, that ain't my stress. He's like, didn't nobody tell you to go get married at 23? So he had to let him go. I was like, oh wow. Didn't know that. I also didn't know Maurice married his first wife that young. I was going to say that lady name, but I knew I was going to mess it up, so I said I ain't going to even try it. So Marsau's just giving him that advice. Okay, so then we see Mel and Tisha meet up, and Tisha want to just talk about the whole comeback group meeting, see where Mel's head is at. She felt like Mel was present, but she wasn't really present. She just wanted the real deal of why she didn't want to be there. I feel like Mel articulated it very well in the meeting. I don't know why we need this scene, but go ahead. Mel be wearing her sweaters, advertising her stuff. I like that, Mel. Tisha was like, if she don't want to do it, she could just say it like, I'm okay with it. But you're not okay with it because you keep trying to persuade her. So anyway, Mel and Tisha go meet up, and Tisha's like, I feel like most meetings you're like a leader and you're a boss and you have all these things, and I feel like at the last meeting you weren't really doing that. Mel said she's not going to go to meetings the same way she did before because, so much has happened. She basically explained what she already said, and they showed the flashback to the reunion where Tisha said she had a dark soul and she was a sheep in the devil clothing or whatever, a devil in the sheep clothing, whatever Tisha said. And so that's my thing. You can't come back from all that. I don't care what Carlos King told y'all. So anyway, Mel said, she definitely don't want to be in business with Martell again and all that. And, Tisha asked her about the co-parenting thing, and Mel didn't want to get too far into it, but she said, she's getting used to only seeing her kids every other week. All right. So, Tisha did respect like Mel's explanation of not want to do business with Martell and being something that he's in and all that, and just everything that's happened, needing to take things slow. And she said she doesn't feel like God has, fully confirmed for her to fully get back into everything with the comeback group. And so, God ain't told her to go yet. So that's where she's at with it. Tisha says she definitely respects it. And she was like, we're not going to force it. It's totally fine. And, Mel appreciates that. So Tisha said, but I do need you to come down with everybody and look at the event space whenever that's happening. So Mel was just steady eating her food. She was like, not answering. She's like, did you hear me? She's like, And so Mel was like, yeah, like Mel basically wasn't trying to do all that. And so Tisha was like, okay, well, you gonna have to tell Maurice, because Maurice wanted everybody to do it. And she was like, you gonna have to FaceTime him and make a video or something. And so she was like, I'll make a video and tell Maurice. She's like, here, put the number in my phone. And she's like, no, you don't need to FaceTime him. And so she basically gonna make a video for Maurice to tell him she ain't gonna do it. Some of this stuff just ain't making sense no more. I don't care what you told him, Carlos. It ain't making sense. So anyway, that's where Mel is at. I'm sure she'll still end up being at the event or doing a video or something. Tisha said, like, you know, she understands Mel's reasoning, but at the end of the day, she realized, like, it's bigger than her and the community, and that's what Mel need to realize. I agree, but Mel ain't there yet. Okay, fine. So then let's get back down to the last scene that, you know, was the big explosion. Now, this scene with Stormi's family and her mama and her auntie, the first time I was like, oh, okay, like, wow, this is a lot. The second time, it felt very forced. First of all, I don't need us to try to regurgitate or remake the magic that is Tisha, Miss Wanda, Marsau, and Kiki arguing at their family gatherings. Like, you cannot duplicate that. Like, those moments all felt good, or not good, but real. And it felt like real family drama we were seeing, like for real drama. Like Kiki did have a substance abuse problem. You know, they did tell everybody don't be letting her come over because she's still, like, all that stuff for real happened. Like, now this Stormi, Miss Betty, and Lisa Jr. stuff, part of it felt like we want to, you know, recreate the wheel. We want to make TV. One reason I say that for sure is you could tell everybody was in on the scene except for Aunt Lisa. Excuse me. Aunt Lisa kind of didn't seem like she was all the way in on the scene, but everybody else did. Also, Miss Betty. Y'all notice how Miss Betty has transformed? We first saw Miss Betty. She was very much giving old lady with her glasses on. She wasn't really bothering nobody, but then she was talking smack about Mel. Miss Betty in this scene had her makeup done. She had her eyes done. She was kind of wearing something showing off her body a little bit more. Like, not too much, but she had the holy jeans. She didn't have her glasses on. The way she was sitting up there, her legs crossing, her arms out, like she owned Stormi's house. I didn't like it. Y'all can say what y'all want about Miss Wanda, but I'll take Miss Wanda any day of the week over Miss Betty, okay? So let's just get into the scene. And I was trying to figure out what was the point of the scene. Okay, Junior got fired, and like, so Junior gonna find another job. Like, it's fine. Like, who cares? Like, who cares? Like, I'm sorry he got fired, but who cares? Like, I don't understand why we gotta have this whole family discussion about it. That's the part I'm not understanding. I don't understand the purpose of this scene. When the stuff's not making sense and there's no real purpose for it, that's where you lose us, Love and Marriage Huntsville people. That's where you lose us. Like Kimmy sharing her cancer stuff, like there's a purpose for that. Some of, you know, Maurice's scenes with his son and Mel's scenes with her kids, there's a purpose for that. When we see them doing their business ventures and Marsau and Tisha's talks, there's a purpose for that. But this scene, I'm that's not fully grasping what was the purpose of it. Can y'all tell me in the comments what y'all think for real? So the scene starts out with Stormi coaching her mama, like, we gonna have some good energy, you know, all that. Come on. Miss Betty was coming through negative. She's like, no, don't go there. So, and Lisa Jr. came over. We seen Courtney kind of in the background, but he wasn't really doing nothing, y'all. So, and Lisa said, no, Miss Betty said, well, Stormi was like, you know, we over here because I guess, and Lisa didn't like the way she found out Junior got fired. And she was like, well, who told you? She's like, your mama told me, Miss Betty. So she was like, oh, I thought Junior would have told you. So that's why I didn't say anything. Okay. So Miss Betty said, I guess Aunt Lisa came over her house and she kept talking about the warehouse. And Miss Betty said, oh yeah, Junior got fired. So Lisa don't like the way that she said it caught her off guard. Okay. I don't know how else it's supposed to be told to her, but okay. So, and Miss Betty's thing is that she feels like Junior should have did more at the warehouse and really had Stormi's back. So Junior's like, well, I'm only an employee. Like, I can only watch so much at the warehouse. Exactly. That's why there's Courtney. like Junior was an employee. At the end of the day, he was an employee. And so Miss Betty's like, no, I feel like because you were an employee, but you were her cousin, you should have had her back. You should have been doing this and that. Now, granted, Junior should have probably been, doing his job more effectively, not been on his phone. But at the end of the day, he was an employee. Now, did she hire him to be, watching people and looking at the ins and outs? Then that's a different story. But to me, it didn't look like that. I think that's more of Courtney's role. Also, where is your manager, Stormi? Anyway, so Miss Betty wanted Junior to do more and look out for her. And Lisa's sitting there like what? And I'm sitting there like, what? And Lisa was like, hold up, let me ask a question. Is this your business or Miss Betty's business? And Stormi's like, it's my business. She was like, okay, then why is she, saying all this stuff and going off and like she looking for a moment, like she doing the most. And she was. And Miss Betty was definitely looking for her moment. She tried to be the new Miss Wanda, and I don't like it. So then Miss Betty started going off, arguing, fussing, and fighting. She was like, after everything Stormi has done for you, you should have been there for her, Junior. You should have did all that. She was like, she even took the time to stop and put up $15,000 to bail you out of jail. Junior like, dang, like, okay, Junior went to jail. What else is new? That was foul, Miss Betty. You didn't have to announce on national TV that boy went to jail. Like, that was nasty. That was so nasty. So Lisa was like, okay, he is 29 years old. Like, I can't make him do anything. That's why I don't understand why we're having this conversation. He's a 29-year-old grown man. He got fired. He'll get another job. His role at Stormi's Place Business was an employee. Nothing more, nothing less. So then everybody get the fussing and fighting. There's all this commotion. After Betty sprayed Lisa's tea, Lisa was like, Mike, man, get me out of here. I ain't doing this. So you can tell Lisa didn't come for all that. She was like, no, I'm not doing this. She wasn't trying to have her family drama sprout on the TV. She was like, you was trying to have a moment, like for you to do the family like this, that ain't right. She was like, Mike, me, she going off. Stormi's like, no, like this, that we wanted. Stormi over there holding the mic and the cord. I was like, this is a mess. And then Lisa was like, okay, like, we all have made mistakes. Junior's done to jail. Okay, like, we didn't all did this. She's like, we didn't talk about the time you went to jail. So then Lisa then aired that Stormi went to jail. Okay, so Stormi was like, okay. In her confessional, she's like, okay, I went to jail for 3 days. Yes, I was 18. I was in college. The judge let it go once he saw I was a good college student. I guess she was trying to get back at somebody or something. So they showed her little mugshot thing. So Miss Betty sitting over there laughing, and Stormi's like, why are you laughing? She said, I went to jail. She's like, because you said you went to jail. Miss Betty's a conundrum to me. I just didn't understand why Miss Betty was just sitting up there laughing like she owned the world. Like, I didn't get it. So, and Lisa stormed out. She went and sat down. She was not trying to be on camera. She was hiding her face. Courtney brought her water and tissue and stuff. She was like, no, I don't want to be here. No, this ain't it. And so Stormi's like, you need to go in there and talk to her. Like, she's talking to your son. You need to make this right. Then Miss Betty in the house calling Junior a condescending little prick, and she ain't got to talk to him and all this stuff. I'm like, what did he do? Like, what did he do wrong besides getting fired? He sucked at his job? Okay, that ain't y'all business. So then Lisa went back in her house and she's yelling at Betty saying, you don't talk to my son. You don't do my son in any kind of way, because Betty was threatening to beat Junior, saying every time he acted up, she gonna do something to him or beat him. And she's like, you don't talk to my son like that and all this. Stormi shares with us later at some time in the scene that a lot of the family issues are deeper because her grandfather got sick, and when it was time to decide like who was going to step up and take care of her grandfather, Miss Betty was the one to do the bulk of the work, and that kind of shift the family dynamics for everyone. And everyone used to be close growing up back in the day because her and Junior basically grew up as like brother and sister. And, Lisa and Betty and their siblings are all tight, but now everything is different. The dynamics have shifted, and that definitely, when the matriarch or patriarch of the family gets sick and other people have to step up, it definitely shifts family dynamics. Like, we've experienced that in my family, like, to this day after my grandma passed. So I get that part of it. I don't know how that trickles down to Junior and Stormi. Like, that's the part that I'm missing. I'm missing that part. And y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, because maybe I'm overlooking something. I'm just not, like, we're missing a piece to the story or something. So anyway, Lisa came back, you deserve Academy Award for all this. You deserve this. Like, you trying to make this scene. You trying to do all this. So they arguing and fussing and fighting. Stormi's like, no, this is not what I want. It's not what I wanted. Lisa go back outside. She's standing on the fence crying. I'm surprised Lisa didn't leave. I'm thinking producers must have kept Lisa there. I would love to know the behind the scenes tea on that scene, because Lisa kept acting like she was leaving. So I'm like, why did she leave? But I'm guessing they kept her there. So anyway, Stormi is like, you need to come on, like, be the bigger person. Like, you need to, just move on, go talk to your sister. Lisa's like, no, I'm tired of apologizing to her. I'm tired of being the bigger person. Like, she always want to act like this and that. But Betty was hollering at her. She don't want her ish to stay. She don't want her ish to stay. I'm like, what is you talking about, lady? So anyway, Lisa was like, I love you. And so Stormi said, you like a second mom to me. Me and Junior like brother and sister. She's like, no, I know. You were like a daughter to me. I get it. She's like, that's why, I need you and to, do this. And she's like, why do you think I'm here? Like, I've been here. She's like, but I can't do this no more with your mother. Like, I don't want to see your mom ever again. Like, I'm done. Basically, I'm done. And she's like, no, like, come on. She's like, Stormi, look at me. Like, I'm not doing this no more. Like, I can't no more with your mama. I can't. So then we see Miss Betty coming down the driveway or the sidewalk or whatever, and I think that's pretty much where it ended, and it said to be continued. We're gonna see where it go from there. Again, like, I don't know the purpose of this scene. I really don't know the purpose of the scene, but I will say the previews for next week looked good. We're gonna see Martell's brother. I didn't even know he had a brother. I feel like there's some intriguing scenes happening, some things going on, like the scene with Maurice and Kiowa, that's how y'all say her name, and Kimmy and Lil Maurice. Looks like that might end up being interesting. But these 4 scenes, I'm not feeling it. Like, and Stormi, don't pimp out your family for this show, girl. It ain't worth it. Miss Betty, you need to do better, girl. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all thought of the episode. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I will talk to y'all again very soon. Bye.